you got that rank. You wanted that amount of money, you got that amount of money. You wanted that person to join your business, they joined your business. Okay? So understand, guys, you gotta keep yourself present in the moment and understand that if you don't be grateful, if you're not grateful for what you have right now, this will block you from your full potential. Celebrate all of these great moments that you have right now and understand that you don't need more. You just got to be grateful for what you have now. Okay? Being grateful for what you have now will open the doors of abundance on its own. And you're not going to need it. It's just going to give it to you. Guess what? Because you already made the decision that it's yours because you were grateful for when you didn't have any. The great Jim Rohn once said, he said, be grateful when the amounts are small so that way that can make you deserving of being more and having access to all the big blessings that are coming in your life. I'll never forget those words. Be grateful for what you have now. Be grateful when the amounts are small so that way you can be deserving when the amounts are big. And that's very important. That always stuck with me. Okay. And that's block number 6. Block number 7 is the fear of being judged. So what will others think about you? Okay. Understand that if you're worried about what other people are going to say about you, okay, if you buy their opinion, you buy their lifestyle. Okay. The people in your life who are closest to you, all right, are great spiritual teachers because they reflect back to you the energy that you're putting out. Wow. Listen to that one more time. The people in your life who are closest to you are great spiritual teachers because they reflect back to us the energy that we're putting out. Now, Neno, what do you mean by that? Well, if you have people criticizing you and they don't believe in you and they're doubting you and they're being negative, hey, maybe that might be, the energy that you're putting out. Maybe you don't really believe. Maybe you're being negative on your own in your own mindset and you truly don't believe that this is going to work out for you. Okay. The energy that you're receiving from those closest to you is the energy that you're putting out. Don't let that one go over your head, guys. That's very, very important, right? Understand that their judgment of us is a reflection of ourselves, whether it's conscious or unconsciously. The things that you fear at home, at night when you're at home by yourself, the things that you think about that only you yourself know about, the negative thoughts, the feelings that you get, and then you have friends and family who reflect those things back to you. Understand that it's you that's putting out that energy. And that's why you're getting that energy from the people around you. That's why your people don't believe in you. That's why, people are doubting you and talking negative about what you do. It's because you do that yourself. You talk negative to yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You doubt yourself. And when you understand that, everything will change for you. Okay? Your faith has to be strong. Release your resistance and others will release you. Other people's judgment of you reveal the places in your life where you lack faith. Remember that. Other people's judgment of you reveal the places in your life where you lack faith. And I remember reading that and understanding that and just internalizing that. I'm like, man, it made so much sense because I started thinking back to when, I lacked faith in this journey. I lacked faith in myself. And I would see the lack of faith in my mom and my dad and my significant other at the time. And everyone around me, people just didn't believe, but it was because that was the energy that I was putting out. But it's so funny now that I'm here 4 years down the road, I don't have those things anymore. I can't remember the last time somebody doubted me. I can't remember the last time that, I had fear of being judged. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the last time anyone even gave me any bad energy. All the energy I put out is great energy. Okay? So understanding this, guys, Rather than blaming others for resisting your dreams, thank them for showing you an opportunity to massively grow and heal from whatever you were going through. Yo, thank them, fam. It's okay. They're doubting you. It's okay. They're judging you. But thank them for that. Because guess what? Now they showed you a place in your life where you can grow. And instead of that being a weakness in your life, now you can turn that into a strength, guys. And these are the blocks that are holding everybody back, right? These are the blocks that are holding people back from their desires. So now that I've made you aware of these 7 blocks, guys, get rid of them. Change your mindset, change your perception, change the way that you're looking at things. Because the moment you get rid of these blocks, your 2022 is going to be so abundant and so filled with so much love and grace and blessings that you're going to thank me for doing this podcast for you. So, one last time, the 7 blocks that are resisting you from your desires. Number 1 is believing in the lack. Number 2, thinking that there's not enough to go around. Number 3, comparing yourself. Number 4, the need to win in the expense of having fun. Number 5, the fear of rejection. Number 6, having a need more mentality. And number 7, the fear of being judged. You get rid of those 7 blocks right there, and 2022 will be the year that completely changes your life for as long as you live, guys. So I hope I was able to help you guys with these blocks. I know how hard it is because I've had multiple blocks in my life that never allowed me to grow more than I already was. But when I got rid of those blocks, man, will I tell you, the sky has been the limit ever since, family. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys so much for showing love and listening to it all the way through. I love you guys so much and I appreciate you guys. And as you guys already know, we go into the top in 2022 because the bottom is way too crowded. Let's go. Thank you for listening to Mornings with Nano. I would really appreciate it if you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment below on how Mornings with Nano has brought value to your life. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys follow me on Instagram at Long Live Nano, Neno, so I can get you guys plugged into my morning masterminds at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Remember, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Sheesh, that was 3 years ago. That's incredible. All right, guys, let's get this call started. Let me put this up right here and let's go. All right, guys. Welcome to Mornings with Nano, YouTube edition. My name is Nano, and I'm super excited to be on this call. As you guys know, I'm always excited. I'm always so blessed to be on these calls. I do want to apologize about yesterday. I did have a ton of difficulties. YouTube was not allowing me to go live for anything in the world. My camera wouldn't turn on. So I did everything I could. But at the end, I was just like, you know what? I guess it's not meant to be today. And I actually had a couple things I had to do. So we kind of just didn't get a chance to do it. So I do apologize about that. So I hope that you guys were able to catch up on any sessions that you guys have missed in the past. But I wanted to make sure we did get a session in today, Friday, May 30th, because it is the last Mornings with Nano of May, right? Not on Monday. On Monday when we come, it'll already be June. So we're going to be heading into a new month. So I said, you know what? I want to make sure that we go over the standards that we want to set up for the month of June. And I think that this is so key, so important that we put ourselves in a position to set the proper standards that we want to accomplish for the month of June and start it off right. Because like I've been sharing with all of us, you know, the month of June is the last month of the first half of the year. I'm going to repeat that. The month of June is the last month of the first half of the year, because starting July, that's the 6-month mark of the year. And we want to make sure that we finish the month of June with good standards, high performance, making sure that everything is in position for us to win and for us to elevate. And there's nothing better than that. So I'm really looking forward to this call. Now, real quick, if everybody has done their morning routine thus far, if you've been working on yourself this week, if you've had a really good week so far this week, put a 222 in the chat box if you guys have had a good week so far. I just want to see where we're all at right here. My birthday's actually on Sunday. Excited to turn 31. Do I look 31? I feel like I don't. A lot of people tell me you look 25, you look 26, which I like that. I kind of wish I could go back to those days. Knowing everything I know now, I wish I could go back to those days, but it is what it is. Turning 31 is crazy though. I really sometimes can't even believe that I'm actually 31 because 31 years young is actually crazy for me. You aging like fine wine. Yeah, bro, you look hella old. You still look young, brother. Thank you, my sister. It means a lot coming from you for sure. Yeah, 31 is wild though. But hey, they say that 30s is the new 20s, right? So I guess that makes me feel better. 30s is the new 20s, so and then 40s is the new 30s. So I guess things change. I'm 39, but I feel like 25. Yo, and I like that, Ben. You know what? Because I've been telling that to some of my friends. I was like, yo, to be real, people say this is why you can't let society tell you, oh, you're getting old, whatever. I'm like, yo, I feel so young. I feel so young. I feel like I'm still 20 years old, 22 years old. Like I feel on top of the world. My body feels strong. I feel so good. So don't ever let society's impressions and limitations. When people tell me you're getting old, bro, I'm like, I'm actually getting younger, to be real. So I don't know what you're talking about. That's why I don't say 31 years old. I say 31 years young, right? Remember, words have power. So I'm always working on it. I'm always working on it. I don't say I'm 30 years old. I say I'm 30 years young, if you guys ever realize that. But I'm excited. It's gonna be a good birthday. We have a nice dinner with family tomorrow, and some people are coming in for that, and I'm looking forward to that. Now, before we get started with today's training, I do want to make sure that we do something that I always do with everybody, and this is something that I do. This is something that I highly recommend everybody else to do. Is I highly recommend everybody to do a May evaluation. All right. And these are very important. Evaluations are key to your success. You want to make sure that you do an evaluation. Now, there's 3 questions that you want to ask yourself at the end of every month, at the end of a week. These are things that I've done. I remember when my mentor would tell me to do these evaluations and I would not do them. And I remember I would just be like, whatever, I'll do it. I'll do it. I never did it. And then there was one time I finally did. I'm like, you know what? Let me listen to my mentor and let me actually do this evaluation. And then I did it. And I realized how powerful it was to do an evaluation. And then the results that I got that following week, I made a promise to myself that I would never slip up on doing evaluations ever again because of how important it was. And it's just 3 simple questions. It takes you 10 minutes to do an evaluation for yourself. First question is, what did you do well this week, or what did you do well this month? So for us, I would sit down and I would be like, what did I do well for the month of May? What were the things you did well in May? The second question you would ask is, what didn't I do well in the month of May? And that's where you want to be honest with yourself. This is where you kind of, identify the slip ups, the area where you haven't been paying attention to. How you doing, sis? All the areas where you want to make sure that you identify that are your slip ups, the areas where you're not paying attention, the areas where you're not all there yet. Maybe the gym, maybe your health, maybe your finances. What areas are you slipping in? And then the third question is, what improvements am I going to make in the following month, which will be June? So you want to go into this next month with the awareness of what improvements you're going to make and what things you're going to work on. Because one thing that I've always realized and I've always paid attention to is that if you don't make an adjustment from month to month, then what ends up happening is your bad habits and your slip ups follow you, right? They follow you into the following months, into the following quarters, into the following halves as well. So you want to make sure that you do that. Because here's what's going to happen if you don't do an evaluation. Whatever you did bad or whatever you didn't do well in May is going to follow you to June. All right. To July, you're going to go to August. Next thing you know, whatever bad habits you've had up until this moment, if you don't evaluate, if you don't become aware of it, if you don't pause it, next thing you know, those habits will follow you all of summer. And let's all be honest. Am I good now? Solid? All right, we're good now, right? Sorry. He just gave us some time to reflect. Yeah, facts. I just gave you some time to reflect. I don't know what happened there. We've been good all week, right? We've been good all week. YouTube hasn't really given me a problem all week, except for yesterday. But we've been good all week. So the question was, how many of us know that we have some bad habits currently right now that we can't afford to go into the summer with? Put a 1 in the chat box if you agree that you have some bad habits right now that you can't afford to go into the summer with, right? I'm going to put a 1 in the chat box myself. Because like I said, this is important, guys. And I don't want to make the whole training about this, but I know how important this is because evaluations for me have been one of my massive, one of those secret keys that you use to get to become successful. Evaluations have been that for me. So I highly recommend every single person on this call to do an evaluation of your month of May. Sit down and be real with yourself. Yo, what did you do well in May? Okay, I did this well. I did this well. I did this well. What didn't you do well in May? I did this. I didn't do this well. I didn't do this well. I didn't do this well. And then in reality, you really only have to answer 2 questions, because the third question that you're going to answer, which is what improvements you're going to make in May, is all a reflection of the opposite of what you answered for question number 2, which is what you didn't do well. So if you didn't do well was the gym, then that's an improvement for June. If if you didn't, post on social media as much as you want to in May, and that's something you're going to do better for June, right? Anything that you didn't do well in the month of May is what you're going to improve on for June. And that's how simple it is. And it takes 10 minutes. And I want to make sure that you guys do that. So can we put a 3 in the chat if you're going to apply this evaluation, whether you could do it right now while we're on this call, or you could do it right after this call. But trust me when I tell you guys, you don't want to miss the opportunity to do an evaluation, because you want to go into this next month with intention. You never want to show up to a month unintentionally. You never want to show up to anywhere without the idea of what you're going to work on to be better. Because if I was to ask you guys right now on this call, who's here wants to grow and become better, everybody would raise their hand. And if I were to tell you, look, this is what you need to do to become better, then you must do it. So that's just obviously a little quick nugget that I wanted to give you guys because it's important. So let's go into today's training, which is Standards for Success in June. That's the title of today's training. Standards for Success in June. All right. So we want to make sure that we understand this. Now, before we jump into it, let's talk about what are standards, right? We got to make sure that this is key. What are the standards? Standards are rules that we live by, even when no one's watching. So they're not goals. Goals are what you want. Understand this. Standards are what you accept for yourself. So let's make that very clear here. Standards are rules that you are going to live by, even when nobody's watching. They're not goals. They're not goals. Goals are different. Standards are the rules that we're going to live by. So what standards are you going to live by? What standards are you going to hold yourself to? Because this is key. This is very, very key. And one of my favorite quotes of all time says, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards or systems. All right. My dog's over here playing. Come on, let's go. You guys are distracting me. Stop. Go to the living room. So you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. You got to keep the standards high. You got to keep standards high. It's so important. You keep your standards high, success is guaranteed. You keep your standards low, failure is guaranteed. So part one to this whole entire thing is we got to identify what our standards are. So here's the key. What are going to be your standards for? And I always break things down into 4 areas. For me in particular, 4 areas. What are going to be my standards for my personal development? This is very important. When it comes to personal development, I'm talking about my morning routine. I'm talking about my gym routine. I'm talking about my Bible study, reading books, visualizing, journaling. What is going to be the standard when it comes to that? How many days a week am I going to do this? I need to be aware of that. What am I going to go out there and do on a day-to-day basis? Something that I highly recommend all of you guys, if you haven't already, is get this downloaded right here and print this out and go into the month of May with this in your if you guys get a weekly rhythm register right here, this right here will change your life, guaranteed. If you guys were to do this for the whole month of June and like stick to this, your whole month of June will be completely different. If you were to commit to this all summer, I remember when I did it for a whole summer, I had the best summer I've ever had when I committed to this right here, the weekly rhythm register. It was life-changing. I was never the same. Never the same. Let me see something right here. So look, let me sharing. Let me share this right here. So for example, right? Here we go. Is this the one I can write on? No, it's not. Stop sharing. Hold up. I want to show you the one that you can write on. Okay, this is the one. Okay, let me show you real quick. This is how you would want to do it. It works, guys. I'm on week 2. You see, somebody's doing it. Okay, so here we go. Right? So for example, let's say one of the first things I do when I wake up is Bible study. Right? So let's say one of the things I want to have on my thing is Bible study. Boom. Let's go to the next one. And this is, I usually fill this up with personal things. Every day I also I read 30 minutes. Visualization for me is very, very important. Every day is very key. I would do also journal. And then I also do gym and sauna. This is more of my like morning routine, right? So these are the things that I prioritize on a day-to-day basis when it comes to me as an individual. Super, super key. All right. Now, if you want to then, so I think about my morning routine. I think about myself. These are the things that I got to do every day for Nano to put myself at the highest version of Nano. I got to do my Bible study every morning. You know, if you want to do Bible study, because usually when I do my Bible study, let me see if it lets me. Oh, sheesh, sorry. I do Bible study / prayer. So I kind of do it both together. Read for 30 minutes. I visualize, yes. Journal, yes. Gym, sauna. So these are the things I do for Nano every day. All right. Now, what I want to do is, okay, what is the goal for this? Then you want to set the goal as an example. Okay. Bible study and prayer is something I should be doing 7 days a week. Do we all agree? Type a 7 in the chat box if you agree that we should be doing Bible study and prayer every single day, rain or shine. Right? 7 days a week. Reading. If you want to take a day off of reading, you can maybe do this one 6 days out of the week, or you could just do 5. All right. I believe we should be reading at least 6 days out of the week. Visualization 7 days a week. Journal, I would say 5 is solid. Gym, 5 is solid. You got to set targets. All right. You got to set targets. Now, let's think about this. So, for example, for myself, this is my personal development side of things. Now, if I want to add more to this, guys, I'm telling you, if you guys follow what I'm showing you if you guys follow what I'm showing you right now, I guarantee you, I don't like to guarantee people nothing, but I guarantee you that you guys will have an incredible summer. Your best summer will happen this year if you do what I'm showing you right now. If you actually take this and you apply it and you're like, yo, Nano, this was it. This was it, bro. So then right here, then we go into the gym sauna. So the second area of my life is I do personal development. And then usually I do something called product of the product. But because I know we have people from all areas here, this is also skill development for me. All right. So for me, I would call it trading, right? / go live. And then if I wanted to add another one in there, I would call DCA crypto, because these are the things that I'm currently working on the most right now. I'm trading on a weekly basis and I am dollar cost averaging. For those who don't know, dollar cost averaging is weekly investments into crypto. So for trading, I would say a minimum of at least 3 times a week, and dollar cost average, I just got to do it once a week. All right. That's for me. As long as I trade at least 3 times a week and watch at least 3 sessions where I'm studying and I'm trading, that's good for me. This is my skill development. Dollar cost average, I just got to do it every Friday. Today is Friday. When I get paid today, I got to take a percentage of what I make and I got to put it into crypto. I don't care if it's 10%, 5%, 20%. And let me tell y'all something right here on this call. I love all of you. You know, I will never tell you guys something that is not going to help you guys. Every single person on this call, every single one of us, the hundreds that are on this call, you should, by law, be investing a percentage of your income into crypto every single week. Everybody on this call, every single person on this call. I love y'all. I will never tell you guys to do something that's not going to help you. Every single person on this call should be taking, I don't care if it's even 10%. As a matter of fact, you want me to give you a project right now? Let me give you guys something, and this is not financial advice, but here's what I'm going to give all of you guys a safe investment that a year from now will be a lot more than where it is right now, and I know everybody can afford. I want everybody to do me a favor, all right? I want you to download Coinbase into your account, and I want everybody every week just buy one of these coins every week. It's called Chainlink. It's called Chainlink every week. You don't need to know Cash. I know you say you need to learn about it. You don't need to learn to make money here. You don't need to learn. I made 6 figures without knowing about crypto. You just need to take $15 every week and put it into this project. Buy one coin every week. One coin every week. I don't care. You could buy 2, you could buy 3, you could buy 5, you could buy 10. Do your own research, obviously. Do your own research. But every single person here that is looking to get into crypto investing and wants to solid project, every week buy one coin. Do we all have $15 to invest a week? Do we all have $15 to invest a week? Put a 15 in the chat if we all have $15 at least to invest. I know everybody here has $15 to invest. Everybody. Remember, here's the key. I'll never forget, my mentor told me this. My mentor told me, he said, Nano, it's not about the amount. It's about the habit. I'll never forget it. Because I used to think that it was about the amount. Yo, I need to have $100. I need to have 10. I need to have $1,000. It's like, Nano, you see, that's the problem right there. It's about the habit. How many people do you know that weekly are taking money out of their accounts and putting it somewhere where it's growing? Here's the problem with a lot of us, and including myself, right? Because I include myself. Poor people get money, they spend first, and then they invest what's left, if there's even anything left. Listen to that again. Poor people get money, they spend, and then they invest what's left. If okay, I think the live worked better in the other room. Yes, that's why I'm moving over here. It was working good. I don't know if it's because my Wi-Fi sometimes doesn't reach the other side on certain days, but may have to move to living room. Yeah, that's why I moved over here. Let me know if it's solid now. We good? Because I'm giving you guys some real sauce. Yeah, I know, man. That's what they told me when I called my Wi-Fi. They said that my box is too far from my office. But it's crazy because I do so many calls in my office, and it never bothers me, but only YouTube, which is too crazy. All right, so where was I? Investing. So we have to remember, guys, we need to keep this in mind. We have to keep this in mind. You don't have to join my business. You don't have to become a trader. You could keep doing what you're doing. All right. You can keep doing what you're doing. But listen to what I'm telling you. I will never tell you to do something that is not going to help you. I'm telling you, this is so important what I'm sharing with you. I know for a fact right now, listen to this. This is a statistic. More than 90% of people in the United States don't have an investment account or an investment portfolio. More than 90%. You understand that? You understand how crazy that is? More than 90% of people in the US don't have an investment account or an investment portfolio. Let's all be real right here, real quick on this call. Let's all be real quick on this call. How many of us can truly say that on a weekly to bi-weekly basis, you're investing money into somewhere where it can grow? How many of us can honestly say that? That every week consciously, you're going into your account and you're like, you know what? I made this amount. I'm going to put this amount into this portfolio, into this project. Not many of us. I know that you don't even have to tell me. There's a couple, but there's not many people. This is why I make it a priority that every week I even do it. And I'm giving you guys something that everybody can do. And I'm giving you a solid project. I'm not giving you any crypto coin, Dogecoin kind of idea. Guys, this is the number 16 coin in the world. All right. Call it what it is, right? This is $100 coin right here at some point. This coin has an all-time high of $50. The all-time high this coin has hit is $50. That means that there's a pretty good chance that it's going to go back up there at some point. Think about that. Compared to where it is right now, look, it's right here right now. It's been all the way up here. It's going to go higher than this. It's at $15. It's going to go up to back 50. I've been trying to tell y'all. I got a lot of people. My boy Clem, he said it. Been doing that since you told us about Solana. I was telling people to buy Solana at $20, $30, $40. I told people on Mornings with Eno, yo, go on Coinbase every week, buy Solana every week. Forget about it. Just, you could put it where it's reoccurring purchases, where every week it takes the money out of your account. You don't even notice it. You know what some people would text me and tell me after Solana went up to, $260? People told me, yo, Nano, I made $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 because I followed what you told me, bro. I even forgot about that. I've been buying Solana since you told me back in 2022, 2023, when Solana was at $10, $15, $20, $30, $40. And look, Solana hit $260. I'm giving you the play right here on this call. One day you're gonna jump on Mornings with Nano, and I'm gonna be showing you Chainlink, and Chainlink is gonna be at $100+, and you're gonna be like, I should have listened. I should have listened. So the reason why I do dollar cost average in my crypto portfolio is because every week, at least once a week, I need to be investing into my portfolio. This is very important for me. Very, very, very important for me. All right. So those are my skills that I'm working on. Okay. Now, if I were to add, now let's go. Remember, I break down my weekly rhythm register into 4 areas: personal development, skills. The third area is my business. Now, remember, my business is different than your business, so it's all different. For me, one thing I got to be doing on a weekly is intro to alpha societies. Intro to Alpha X, I got to be doing minimum 6 a week of those. Minimum. That is a minimum. 5 to 6 a week, I need to be doing that. Nano, what is intros? Well, I am a founder of one of the most successful digital entrepreneurship communities in the world. It's called Alpha X Society. We teach people how to master the skills of making money online. We teach people how to trade. We teach people how to invest, how to build online businesses, how to do e-commerce, travel hack, all of that. So every week, I, as a business owner, I got to be showing this business to people at least once every day in my business, because I'm here to grow my business at the end of the day, right? So every week I got to be doing intros, showing people how this works, showing people how to become a part of our amazing community. All right. So that's one thing as a business owner that I got to be doing. Okay. Another thing I got to be doing is contacting leaders. All right. I got to be doing that at least 5 days a week. Contacting the leaders in my business, the people that I'm doing business with. I got to be in constant communication with them. So every day I got to be in communication with my leaders, and so on and so forth. This is so important to me. Okay. This is what my business is all about. It's about intros, building people into the business, and so on and so forth. Okay. Super, super key. So that's for my business and my team, right? Because in my business, you get paid for 2 things. You get paid to enroll new people into the business, and you get paid to develop leaders. So here's what I'm doing with that. All right. I've got to make sure I'm contacting my leaders and that I'm doing intros every single week. Okay. Now the last area of my life is posting on social media, right? I got to post, at least posting. You could just put post on social media, right? I'm going to just put post on SM. Minimum, I got to be posting at least, I haven't been doing it myself, but in reality, I'm supposed to be posting 7 days a week. But if I were to do every other day, I would say at least a minimum of 4 times a week I should be posting. On a standard basis, assuming I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and one of the weekends, I should be posting at least 4 days a week on social media. Minimum. That's the key. All right. And now it gives me space for other things here. Things I got to work on here. And then you can fill these in as you go. That's kind of like what I do. So you got to think of some of specific habits. Like, for example, another thing I could add in here is my night routine. I should be doing my night routine at least all 7 days of the week. If you want to add another thing in here, let me see what's another thing I can add in here. Think. Give me some ideas, guys. What are some things that you guys would add on this that you guys don't see yet, as an example? What are some things you would add here? Let me see. Give me some ideas. And remember, you don't have to fill it all out. Yeah, I have gym and sauna there. Meditation. Yeah, visualization is, yeah. So for example, spending time with kids is important. I don't have any kids. I got to walk the dog, so I really won't put it in here. Brush teeth twice a day. Depends. I already do those things naturally, right? So like, family time you can do here. is important. I write my goals down when I journal. So prayer, I already have it on here. Church, yes, church is a great one. Church is important. Church once a week, right? And then like you can also add whatever you want here as well. For example, family time is important for me. I don't have my family here in Miami, but I call my mom and dad every day. So it's mandatory for me to call my mom every single day. Right? So like for example, if I wanted to finish it right here, that's it, I'm good. Right? Here's what it is: doing something to take time for yourself, dinners, spas. Yeah. So remember, these are behaviors or actions that are very important that you take weekly. So then I already set a goal for them, right? I set goals for them. And then very simply, guys, what you're going to do is you wake up Monday, right? You did your work Monday, you do a check. Let me see. Is there like a, let me see. No. Do they have like, let me see. Nah, they don't have like checks here. So let's just say for purposes, let's just put a 1, right? Boom. I did it. Boom. So usually what it'll look like, let me just give you guys an example of what this will look like. It's kind of hard to do it on this. So sorry, guys, if I'm not the best at this right now. Okay, boom. Sheesh. Sorry. Nah, we're not going to do that. So basically what you want to do is this, right? Let's say Bible study prayer. The goal was to go all 7 days. Every day when you're done with your day, what you do is, okay, did I do my Bible study prayer on Monday? Yes, boom. Did I read my 30 minutes? Boom, yes. Did I do my visualization? Boom. And then at the end of the day, you'll just check it off. And what you want to do is once you reach the end of the week, you want to see how much of that, because remember, once you have this written down and you have the goal set, then the rest of the week is just checking it off. Yo, did you do your night routine on Wednesday? Did you do it on Thursday? Did you do this? Did you dollar cost average on Friday, how you're supposed to every Friday? And you're supposed to check it off. And then at the end of the week, let's say, for example, at the end of the week, Bible study prayer, let's say I did 6 out of 7. So achieve, the goal was 7, but I did it 6 out of 7. So 7 minus 6 is net is 1. You understand that, correct? So the goal is the net, you want to have it at 0. That's the goal. All right. You want to have it at 0. That's the goal eventually. The net at 0 means that you completed everything that you said you were going to do. If you have it at 1, if you have it at 2, then that means you slipped up on it. And then at the end of the week, you'll be able to give yourself a total of everything. You guys can't see it because my camera's in the way of it. But at the bottom, you're supposed to add it all up and get to the net goal of what you hit. The number you get, the closer to 0 you get it, the better you're doing. That's the key. Now, if you guys want to download this, I would just go on Google. I don't know where I got it. I just went on Google. If you write down weekly rhythm register, if you go on Google, you should see it in there. And there's a bunch of PDFs that you can download that you can use to basically print it. Listen to me, guys. That is one of the most important things that you guys can use right there. That PDF. I guarantee you that. It's game changing. Remember, you design it and you customize it the way that you want. You do this all summer. You use that weekly rhythm register all summer and you stick to it and you commit to it. And you say to yourself, yo, I'm going to commit to this weekly rhythm register. Neno told me that this is game changing for him. Because remember, now you're tracking and now you can see it. You're seeing where you're slipping up at. That's what I used to love about it. I used to look at it and I used to be like, damn, bro, I'm slipping on this, I'm slipping on this, and I'm slipping on that. Next week, I got to fix this, bro. I set a goal to do this 7 days out of the week. I only did it twice. I got to be better here. I set a goal to post 5 days out of the week. I only posted once. Nano, let's go. And now you can see it. It's one thing when you just said it, right? It's one thing when you just said it in your mind, oh, I'm going to post today, and then you don't do it, and it's like, whatever. But when you could see it on the piece of paper and you know that you're slipping up, it changes the game. What I would recommend that you do is put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. Put it on your refrigerator, put it in your room, put it in your bathroom, put it somewhere right, in your nightstand. Put it somewhere where you have no choice but to fill it out. And guess what, guys? That takes literally a minute to fill out. Because that's it already. Yo, did you read today? Yes or no? Did you Bible study today? Yes or no? Did you go to the gym today? Yes or no? Did you do this today? Bang, 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 bang. In a minute, you're done. Everybody can do this. I just literally did it on the call with you guys for the last couple of minutes. This is the easiest thing that I've ever done to help me become successful. When I wanted to change my life, when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, I said enough is enough. And I started doing that weekly rhythm register every single week. And it got to the point where I was so good at it. I was so good at it that it changed everything for me. Because I was able to I was hitting everything. 7 out of 7s, 6 out of 7s, everything. 5 out of 5s, 1 out of 1. My goal was always to get it perfect. That was always the goal. Get it as perfect as I can. That was always the goal. To get it as perfect as I could. So that is one thing that you could do to help you set a different standard going into June. Now, knowing that, who's going to do their best to apply that into their lives? Put a 1 in the chat box. Because remember, what did we say? Part 1 was your standards are the rules that you live by, even when no one's watching. The standards are the rules that you live by when no one's watching. When I start my private mentorship, that's going to be one of the things that I do with my private mentorship. When I get into my private mentorship and I start doing one-on-one coaching with individuals, this is what I'm going to be doing with them. We're going to sit down. We're going to identify people's lives. Okay, boom. I'm going to set them up with a weekly rhythm register. And that's how I'm going to be able to check on them. You want to change your life? You want me to coach you? You want me to be your mentor? Okay, you're going to pay me to mentor you, coach you, give you the keys to success, but you're also going to be held accountable for it. And that weekly rhythm register is going to be the key. So that's point number 1. Number 2, all right, and this is important. There's something called the 4 standards to success. The 4 standards to success. Here they are. Number 1 is you got to show up like a pro, not a fan. I'll repeat that again. Show up like a pro, not a fan. Neno, what do you mean by that? Well, pros, they show up whether they like it or not. Fans show up when it's convenient. So you got to show up like a pro in all of June, all of July, all of August. Let's be honest. How many of us show up to our jobs whether we like it or not? We all do. There's days you're tired. There's days you're exhausted. There's days you had an argument with your significant other. The kids were sick. You're sick. But guess what? You showed up to work whether you liked it or not. Why don't you do that for yourself? Don't only show up when it's convenient this summer. You got to show up no matter what for yourself this summer. That's the key. Show up for yourself this summer. Show up like a pro this summer. Show up like a pro this summer. This sometimes energy, you need to leave this. Leave this in the past. Sometimes energy isn't going to get you the results that you want. It's showing up no matter what. Showing up when you're sad, stressed, hungry, this. Show up like a pro, not a fan. That's one of the standards. The second standard is Hit your personal minimums. Hit your personal minimums. I just gave you guys the weekly rhythm register. Hit those little personal minimums. Those are the small wins that are going to lead to the big wins. Those small wins right there that I just showed you guys, those are the ones that are going to lead to the big wins that you want in life. If you can't hit the wins on the weekly rhythm register, then you won't be able to hit the wins that you want in life. Because you can't hit the small ones, how are you going to hit the big ones? You can't do Bible study and prayer 7 days a week. How you think God is going to bless you? You can't read 7 days a week. How you think God is going to give you a business that? These are the little things. You can't go to the gym 5 days a week. How you think God is going to give you that dream body you're looking for? It's not going to happen. You want to grow your brand, but you can't post on social media. How is it ever going to happen? Happy early birthday, my brother. How are we ever going to do it? So hit your personal minimums. Let's focus on the minimums. Let's not focus on the big ones. The small daily wins are more important than the big wins. I could guarantee you that. You know why they're more important? Because without the small wins, there is no big wins. It's like in sports. If you don't win the season games, you're not going to be able to make it to the playoffs and make it to the championship. You can't focus on the championship when you still got to win today's game, tomorrow's game, next week's games. Let's focus on the daily wins first. And then eventually, if we win enough of these daily games, eventually we could get to the playoffs and eventually we could get to the championship. If you don't win the daily games, you won't even make it to the playoffs. You won't even make it to the championship. Same thing and everything in life, guys. You got to worry about the small wins. So that's the second standard for June. The third standard for June is own your own energy. Own the energy. High energy equals high results, high income. What kind of energy are you bringing on a day-to-day basis? Are you making excuses or are you bringing solutions? Are you celebrating others? Are you protecting your focus, your attitude, your frequency? What's your energy day to day? Are you just showing up to show up, or are you showing up with intention? Are you showing up? What are we really doing? That's the key. That's the key. What energy are you bringing into June? Are you coming into June just like you showed up every other month, or are you coming into June intentionally? You know who's an intentional person coming into June? The person that takes today, tomorrow, and says, you know what? Nano's absolutely right. I can't afford to have a weak summer this summer. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do my evaluation. Boom. Finished my evaluation. Okay, he said about this weekly rhythm register. I'm a plan it for the whole summer. There's 12 weeks this summer. I'm gonna print out 12 of these weekly rhythm registers. I start Sunday immediately. I'm gonna print it out. I'm gonna set goals. I'm gonna put my actions in place. When I wake up Monday, I'm a new person. That is someone who's showing up with the right energy into June. The person that gets off this call, does the evaluation, puts the weekly rhythm register in place and says, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to change my life this summer. I haven't had the best year yet. I've had an okay year this year. I've had a great year this year, but I want to level up. It doesn't matter what kind of year you've had up until this moment right here. All that matters is how you're going to show up now come June 1st. And you say, yo, I'm going to do my evaluation. I'm going to print out these 12 weeks of weekly rhythm registers. I'm going to set the goals, the actions that I got to hit. And starting Monday, I'm all in on myself. I'm working on myself. I'm not perfect. I know I'm not going to hit everything right away, but it's up now. That's it. I can't keep living like this. That's where I was. That's where I was. I said, yo, that's it, Nano. I can't live like this anymore, bro. I couldn't live anymore where I was living. I couldn't struggle with finances anymore. I couldn't live under my purpose anymore. I couldn't anymore. I said, that's it. Enough is enough, bro. And I started with the weekly rhythm registers and I stayed true to it every single day in the summer. And that was a summer that changed my life. I remember it like it was yesterday, summer of 2019. I haven't been the same since. You know what's the funniest thing about it? That summer got me to make 6 figures. And ever since I hit 6 figures, I've never made nothing less than 6 figures since 2020. That's how true it is. That's how crazy one summer, that's how amazing one summer could do for you. That one summer, the amount of work I put in that summer, it helped me out so much in my life. I was able to change my life so much in that one summer, in that 90-day period. I was able to change my life so much that I was able to get myself to earn 6 figures. And ever since then, I've never made anything less. Every year since then, I've made over 6 figures going into 2020. 2019 was the last year that I didn't make 6 figures, because remember, I made the shift mid in the summer. So that year I finished it off, and yeah, I made whatever, some money. But 2020, 6 figures. 2021, 6 figures. 22, 23, 24, 25. Never made anything less. You know why? Because I changed my habits. It's crazy how one summer could really change everything for everybody. You guys are on this call right now. I'm telling you right now, I'm so serious. If you guys take this summer very, very serious, this could be the summer that changes everything for you. Or this could be the summer that, you just take a bigger hump. I'm not guaranteeing you that you locking in this summer is going to make you 6 figures, but for some, it might be. For some, this may be that summer for you. For some others, it may take you another summer or two. You never know. But lock in and bring the right energy. Because here's the double-edged sword of it. There'll be the person that gets off this call and says, you know what? I'm going to do the evaluation. I'm going to do the weekly rhythm register, and I'm going to lock in. But then there'll be the person that gets off this call, doesn't do the evaluation, doesn't do the weekly rhythm register, decides, you know what? All right, I got it, whatever. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to go into June with the same habits that they had in May and in April. They're going to slip up again, because that's part of the game, because I've been there. Then they're going to start off the second half of the year the same way. The summer's going to fly right by them. Next thing you know, it's going to be September, and you're going to be sick to your stomach, because you basically just threw away your year because you didn't lock in all summer. Because you spent all summer drinking, smoking, chilling, doing this, doing that, and not locked in with you. None of us can afford not to lock in this summer. None of us have nothing to celebrate this summer. I don't have nothing to celebrate this summer. This is a starving summer for me. I'm going to celebrate my birthday tomorrow with my family. We're going to have a nice dinner. I'm going to go to the beach, take a nice day to relax, chill, relax, recharge. Sunday, we'll celebrate, whatever, cool. Monday, back to it. That's it. Yeah, Nano, great. You're 31. Let's keep it pushing. We got goals to hit. Recharge this weekend. I'm glad that my birthday landed on a weekend. So important. So the energy that you show up with is key. And then last but not least, number 4 is lead from the front. Remember, people are going to follow what you say, not what you do. Sorry. People are going to follow what you do, not what you say. So lead from the front. Wake up early on Monday. Get in the gym. Read the books. Get closer to God. Get in church on Sundays. Lead from the front, guys. These are the standards that you should go into June with. Show up like a pro, not a fan. Hit your personal minimums. Own the energy and lead from the front. You could do those 4 things, you're good. Everything else will take care of itself. Everything else will take care of himself. That's it. And you know what you could do as well? Write down a June declaration for yourself. Write it down. In June, Nano is going to commit to boom, 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 boom. I no longer do this. I no longer do this. I now operate from a standard of excellence, and sign it and hold yourself accountable to it. I'm telling you guys, I promise you, your whole lives will change this summer if you lock in with you. Don't be lazy. Lock in with yourself. I'm telling you, it'll be the best decision you make if you lock in with yourself. I wanted to make sure that we did this call for that same reason, because I'm like, yo, I need to remind everybody how important today is. It's the last call that we do for the month of May. We're going into June. You have today and tomorrow before June. June starts on Sunday, which is perfect. That's why I'm so grateful. I'm like, yo, my birthday's on a Sunday, June 1st. I get to set the right intentions right here. This is my new year right here. June 1st is my new year for real. I get to set the intentions. I get to evaluate. I get to put myself in a position. And then from here is all the way all in till September 1st. 90 days, everything I got. Everything I got from now to September 1st or October 1st, whatever you want to do. Just do it. Just trust me. Limit all the distractions for the next 90 days. Sacrifice this summer, because like the saying says, if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. I can't afford to sacrifice my family, my peace, the life I want to live. I can't afford to sacrifice that. So I'm going to sacrifice for it instead. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. All right, guys. So those right there are the 4 standards for this summer. We understand what standards are. These are the rules that we live by. Hold yourself at a high standard this summer. Hold yourself at a high standard this summer. And don't care what anybody says or thinks about you. Hold yourself at a high standard. All right, guys. So if you guys are ready to lock in for this summer, type summer in the chat box. If you guys are ready to lock in all summer. Summer 25, the one we're going to remember. Summer 25, the one we're going to remember. I'm a little bit congested. I got to go to the sauna, get a good sauna session in. Great sauna session today. All right, guys. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I will see you guys on Monday for sure, so that we can check in. I'm gonna see who has their weekly rhythm register on Monday, because I'm gonna have it. I gotta go back to it. Right? Yeah, this, summer 2019 was the one that helped me get to 6 figures, but I gotta get to 7 figures now. I got to get to 7 figures. They say your first million is always the hardest. So I got to get to 6. I got to get to 7 now. Let's go to 7 now. I got to lock in this summer. This is a different level of commitment and obsession. And this is important. So I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Thank you guys so much. But with that being said, this is the end of today's call. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this on today's call. I'm telling you guys right now, this is the key. This is the key to where it is that you guys want to go to this year. And we only get this summer. We only get one summer this year. So take advantage of it. All right, fam. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. My birthday is on Sunday, June 1st. They say that people born on the 1st of any month is leader by law. So I'm glad and grateful that God has put me in a position to lead, because all I want to do is put you guys in a position to change your lives and help others as well. So I'm going to do a little prayer for us. I pray that you guys have a beautiful weekend. Everything that I said today came from a place of love and came from a place of accountability, because I want to see you guys live a better life, and I want to see you guys grow to be better versions of yourselves. And that's the key to everything. So I'm going to do a little prayer, just some gratitude, and we'll take it from there. Everybody bow your heads. Let's pray. Father, Lord, we just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Friday morning. We feel so good and so blessed for the amazing week that we've had. We've learned so much from you this week, and every week has been just so amazing this month, because every week we just learned so much about ourselves, about you, the awareness that we need to have. And we're going into the summer with so much intention, so much intensity and obsession to be better versions of ourselves. So we want to thank you for everything that you've done for us up until this very moment. But we do want to ask you, God, that going into the summer, going into this next month of June, that you give us the strength, you give us the wisdom, you give us the protection that we need to go out there and be those versions of ourselves that we know we can be. That you remove anything in our lives that isn't allowing us to grow and isn't allowing us to think straight. We want to serve you, Father. We want to serve the kingdom. And the only way we're going to do that is if we are operating at our best version, Father. So we thank you so much for our health, for our families, for this community, and for everything that you're doing. I thank you as well for another year of life. And we're going to continue to grow each and every single day. Let's have a great weekend, and we'll see each other again on Monday here with the family. We love you and we appreciate you. In God's name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. So with that being said, what's up, Papa? With that being said, guys, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Let me go walk my dogs and go get a good sauna session in. And let me get ready for this amazing birthday weekend that we're about to have. I hope you guys have a beautiful one. Let's keep growing, and I'll see you guys Monday. Again, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Let's go.